Is family.
Family. Okay. Old lady names are very much back in fashion at the minute, like Lily or Elsie or Rose, and we wanted something like that for our daughter, but we couldn't decide, so in the end we just called her Nan. I told her she'll grow into it. I remember one time my uncle asked me to spell Schadenfreude and I couldn't, but he's dead now and I'm not, so I win. My cousin always introduces himself as Stephen with a PH, and that's because he's slightly acidic. My married friends would always tell me there's someone out there for everyone, and I'd think, wow, she must be a right slag. Knock, knock, who's there? Grandad. Shit, stop the funeral. Grandad asked me how to print on his new computer. I said, just Control P. He said, I haven't been able to do that for years. My confirmed bachelor uncle always describes himself as asexual, but I'd also add B, gay. As a child, I was always told that if I touched myself down there, God was watching, but it turned out it was just Uncle Peter. Thank you.
Love yourself, well done. Point again, I'm going to go to the lady. Come on back. Our next round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of Education Secretary Michael Gove. But what does GAEC stand for?
Is it Goverton's Elf College?
Genetic abnormality explains chin.
Amazing.
Is it something cock?
Is it Michael Gove saying, gosh, actual ethnic children?
Is it in fact what the kids have done to him? Glued arse to edge of chair.
Is it Gove Adonis, exuding charisma?
Is it adult literacy rates poor?
Gollum advises Earth children.
Is it Grindr adventure ends catastrophically?
OK, let's just give the correct answer, because frankly, nothing's going to top that.
Gove announced as emergency contraceptive.
Let's have the correct answer, please.
It's going to be something about Gove announces exam change.
Very good, thank you very much. You get Yes, the answer I was looking for was Gove announces exam changes. This is the news that Education Secretary Michael Gove has announced a new English baccalaureate certificate to replace GCSEs. From 2015, students will work towards a demanding 3-hour exam at the end of a 2-year course rather than the current combination of coursework, modular exams and multiple retakes.
He's even invented an exam that thicker kids won't be able to pronounce. It's the back of what? The back of what? The back. Oh, give me a shovel, I'll go down to mine.
I think the idea is if you're academic, then you get a baccalaureate, and otherwise they teach you practical skills like how to baccalaureate.
The Tories have assured us that under this system no child will be left behind, but how can we take Tory promises that no child will be left behind seriously when their leader's David Cameron?
What's do you know what the abbreviation is?
It's called
EBC.
EBAC.
It's called the EBAC.
EBAC, which is when Yorkshire people make payment over the internet.
I thought that was something from Star Wars, isn't that?
Yes, it was.
EBAC?
Do you know who hated the EBAC?
I bet you can't do the impression.
Skywalker! Your EVACs will not qualify you to run the Empire. Nah.
There's been a lot of debate over, whether grades have been devalued, and I was discussing that recently with my nephew, Professor Timmy.
So, hang on, sorry, because it's one of these things that I genuinely am always perplexed about, coming from a different country as I have, with my spices and my silks.
Really?
attempt urination. And there's so many great things about it, except your exams, which are mad. And not that the education, by the way, is great. I'm not saying anything about the education people get here, it's fantastic. But the exams are mad.
There are people who, when confronted with an exam paper, just go to pieces completely and forget how to count, and I think it's very unfair that they are marking the papers.
When I...
There are people who just shouldn't be taking exams. My friend Carl was at sixth form college with a girl who got her A-level results, and when she pulled out the piece of paper with the 3 letters telling her what her future would be,
yeah,
she went, that spells none.
People make an awful lot about the pressure that kids are under, and I suppose they are, but speaking as an ex-teacher, when it comes to exam time, there's far worse pressure on the teachers, because you have to spend sometimes 4 or 5 hours in those halls just walking up and down, and it's a recipe for insanity. I had no choice when I was teaching but to invent a game called Campile. It was just to see who could walk up and down the aisle the campest. We started off just sort of slightly mincing. Honestly, by the end of it, I was walking down a full aisle of children like this. And I knew it was time for me to leave teaching when I got to the end of one aisle. Genuinely, during an actual GCSE, a kid looked up at me and went...
So were you essentially voguing your way?
I'm not exaggerating. By the end of it, I was like...
The thing is, they want to make the exams harder, don't they? You know, but surely they're hard enough already if your teacher is walking up and down, camping it up.
Oh, no, I'm still qualified, technically. We'll have to cut this bit out.
Really? Is that your safety net?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Do you think anybody, having seen you in In-Betweeners, anybody is ever going to employ us?
Well, you've always got a trade.
I did a gig at the University of Central England, which is in Birmingham. That's what they're trying to hide from you. And as an opening line, I said, UCE! So called because that's the grades it takes to get in. But I had to explain it to them.
I'll tell you, I was in an exam when I was at school. My mate, at the back of the hall went... we were all waiting to leave. Someone at the back of the hall went... Meow. And Mr Mearden, the exam invigilator, went... And then someone else went... Meow. And then... Meow. From different parts of the hall, and it led to my favourite sentence I've ever heard come out of an adult's mouth, which was, all right, no one leaves until the meowing stops.
At the end of that round, the points go to Chris, Hugh and Gary. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a property show.
6 months in and Mike has fallen out with the builder. There was no window there and neither of them noticed.
With violence and strong language from the very beginning, it's a place in the Sunderland.
Yes, it is north-facing, but on the plus side, it's a caravan, so you can just turn it round.
Get that fish out of here, it stinks. You should never leave a place in the sun.
We've just 1 hour while Gina's at the shops to improve her flat in Luton. We're setting it on fire and moving it to Oxford.
Well, it's another setback. This time the structure is damaged. And for the first time, I'm asking myself, will the Death Star ever be finished?
And more information on how to get together a deposit for a house can be found in our free leaflet, When Will Nana Die?
So, you bought it at auction for £100,000, but what exactly are you going to do with Middlesbrough?
Well, what we've done is we've knocked the wall between the kitchen and the lounge down, and what that's done is killed all the people who were sitting in the lounge.
The kitchen's done in a very modern style. We call it crack den.
We're looking at a well-equipped council house in Hull. Fridge, oven, washing machine. In fact, this is one of the nicest gardens we've seen.
This week on Grand Designs, my gran designs a house. It'll be shit. She's got terrible arthritis and not even a rudimentary qualification.
3 coats of varnish and a new rug, and Brucey is ready for his next show.
Welcome to the 74-hour-long obsessive-compulsive episode of How Clean Is Your House?
Knock it down, tarmac it, fuck 'em.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear in a maternity ward.
Mr. Parsons, your baby looks exactly like you. But mind you, so does every other baby.
There are complications, I'm afraid, for a start. I'm not a doctor.
I definitely can see the head. You should do your flies up, Doctor.
Bad news, I'm afraid. He's ginger. Your Highness.
So, would you like to hold the little fella? Or shall I give you the baby?
Mrs. Jones, I'm going to need you to push. And then when we've got the ambulance started, we'll try and get you to hospital.
Oh, God, is that my baby? I've given birth to Andy Parsons.
I'd stay up that end and talk to your wife if I were you, Mr. Smith. It looks like Alien versus Predator down here.
And this is the ward for unwanted twins. We call it the Jed ward.
Basically, you just turn them over and slap them on the arse. These nurses' parties are great.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Jolie. If you'd like to just move along to the next window to collect your order.
Oh, this isn't your first baby, is it?
You have a bouncing baby boy. I know that because I dropped him in the delivery room.
OK, big breath in, hold it, and pass the joint to the midwife.
If you're not in when we deliver your baby, is it OK if we leave it with a neighbour?
That's good. No, I do like it, darling. Just not in that colour.
I know you're in great pain, but we need to know your name. Right. Doctor for Mrs. Fuckoff.
OK, give that round of applause. Give a great Joe and Andy! And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, Joe Caulfield and Greg Davis. Commiserations to Chris Allison, Hugh Dennis and Gary Delaney. Thanks for watching. I'm Darren Breen. Good night.
Greg Davis stars in new BBC Three comedy Cuckoo on Tuesday at 10. There's more on that to follow. Well, here later, there's Banter on BBC Two with Ray Winston, Brian Cox and Kelly Jones from the Stereophonics on The Rob Brydon Show at 11:20.